knowledge meets the action. Welcome to the Empowerment Show, where we break down the barriers, helping you grow. Financial literacy, speaking truth to the power. Real conversation, changing lives by the hour. We inspire to change, here we challenge the status quo. Sharing tools for building wealth, watching your seeds grow. Empower you to take control of your future. No more living in the past. We're the authors of the sutra. Get ready, get set, let the movement begin. Because empowerment starts now. Let the light in.
All right. That was one hell of an introduction. Things to be grateful for. I have some beautiful children, very artistic and talented children. So those are things I have to be grateful for. Everybody should find something to be grateful for every day. Every day when you get up, you should find something to be grateful for. If it's a spouse or your children, your siblings, your friends. There's something that you can be grateful for. Be grateful that you get up and you got a job to go to. Be grateful that you got a bed to sleep in at night. All right. Well, my name is Kendall Stevenson, and I am the host of the Empowerment Show. Usually we kick it off with some politics this week. We didn't get an opportunity to do that. We stuck to Black history. We had an opportunity to have a few people on. Some really nice guests came on this week. Generally, I do this show with my buddy, my analyst, Mr. Ronald Yates. Unfortunately, he's not here right now today, but maybe I get a chance to check out the show and see how things go. All right. Well, in the news and politics, we've had a lot of things going on this week. Today, especially, the Supreme Court finally got some cojones. How about that? And with those cojones, they decided to disappoint Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like a big kid. But anyway, the Supreme Court was against Donald Trump today. That was the verdict. He and I'm sure he hated it. They delivered a 6-3 blow to the President Trump by striking down his sweeping global tariffs. Now, these tariffs has really been a pain in the ass. Okay? I mean, really. And these were supposed to be for the emergency funds, the EEP. Okay, the decision's rare. Trying to go through this to see what I'm looking at here, and just seems like things are. Anyway, the key aspects of the ruling. The court found that Trump used International Emergency Powers Act, the IEEPA, to impose tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners. And this was evaded, according to PBS News reports. Okay. So, as you can see, my man, those tariffs, they really didn't help us out too much. And they're costing us a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. It's a damn shame that the amount of money that these tariffs are costing us as the Americans people, because I don't think people realize that tariffs, we keep trying to tell you over and over again, tariffs are a tax on the consumer. This is not a tax on product and goods or services. These taxes go on when things come into the country. We put a tariff on it. This is something that's been going on for year after year after year. We put a tariff on them, they put a tariff on us, but we don't put these ridiculous amount of tariffs so much to where they're hurting us as a nation. It's supposed to be all about make America great again. Well, it's not exactly making America great again. I was checking out some of the videos about the farmers. I had a clip up. Let me put this clip up, and let's see what the farmers got to say about it.
And, farm bankruptcies are on the rise, farm foreclosures on the rise, farm suicide is on the rise. And the president continues to say that his tariffs are helping us. But the tariffs are hurting America's farmers, and we're going to be losing a lot more farmers this fall. And what we really need is a complete farm moratorium at USDA and other agricultural lenders. We shouldn't be losing America's farms while the president, made some bad decisions here with his tariffs.
And a possible issue for U.S. cattle farmers. The White House says it may increase beef imports from Argentina, part of a larger bailout for the South American country.
Now, isn't that something? A part of the larger bailout for the South American country. Didn't we just give them like trillions of dollars or so forth that to help bail them out? I'm just wondering. I mean, if we're bailing them out, who's bailing us out? Because the American farmers, they're having a hard time. They want us to go buy our beef from Argentina. Well, how about our beef right here? So if we import beef from Argentina, what happens to the cattle rustlers over here? The people that have our beef here. Make America great again. You got to love it. Anyway, I was checking out another one from one of these farmers, man, and I'm telling you that things are not good. This guy actually voted for Trump. He was a Trump supporter. And I don't think he's very happy right now with the situation that things are going. Now, it's funny because when I listened to Trump today at that speech, he got on the podium and he had to talk about specifically Georgia and how much the farmers there, they love him. Oh, they love him so much. They think that he's the greatest, that he's bringing the market back and everything is so great. Well, that man speak with a forked tongue, as somebody would want to say, because the real deal is not the truth. That's not the way that the farmers feel. Now, here's a clip from one of the people that voted for Trump. One of the farmers. Check it out.
Trump says, be patient. The farmer's going to be better than ever. Well, you better hurry up because we can't stand this much.
That was Franz Roland, a farmer here in southern Georgia. He's been farming for more than 40 years, but he said the last year has been one of the most difficult ever.
With the prices like they are today, we're not going to make any money. We just try to figure out a way to not lose so much.
He doesn't blame President Trump for the economic challenges he's facing, but he said the Trump administration hasn't helped farmers either.
We've lost our market share, our trade to China. I don't know who dropped the ball in Washington to allow these prices, its trade to diminish like it has, but somebody dropped the ball. Somebody wasn't looking out for us. But they got.
And Donald Trump, with the trade policies, specifically citing that ongoing tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico are raising the cost of fertilization and the freaking machineries and how much this costing them. Now, Trump says, I guess they're going to get some sort of subsidy. But again, if they do get them subsidies to make up for what they've lost, it's going to be billions of dollars. And where's that money coming from? Again, is it going to come out of the American taxpayers' dollar? Because that seems to be where most of this money, this big disastrous money, this big beautiful bill that he's created, this Project 2025, the people that seem to be hurt the most are us. Now, I listened to him. He talked about how great the stock market is doing. Yeah, I think it's doing okay. It's moving in a certain direction, but. How many people got stocks? I bet you a large amount of the people that have stocks have a lot of money because they have to get in the stock market. You have to be willing to lose money, and the average person don't have that kind of money to lose. They don't have that kind of money to buy stocks. So when he tells me the S&P and the Dow is doing great, yeah, that's good. But how about the average American that goes down to the supermarket, or the average American that's going down to put some gas in his car, or just those type of things, and prices are going up all over the place? What do you tell them? What do you tell them? You stand there and you get in front of a daggone camera and you lie to the American people. I mean, you lie right to their faces. You tell them how great the country is doing. Well, the country's not doing that great. And I really don't see businesses coming back to this country. I don't see anybody standing waiting online to come back. Why? To pay more taxes? To pay higher tariffs? because we're not going to stop importing goods. We've been importing goods in this country for a very, very long time. So that is not going to happen. As long as businessmen can get cheap labor somewhere else, they're going to get it. And they're not going to find it here, because if you do it here, you're going to have to pay the American people a certain amount of money. You got to pay a decent salary. You're going to have to pay some medical bills. You're going to have to pay as a business owner here and a large corporation. So large corporations, basically, their motto is make money, make money, make money, not spend money. They don't want to spend a lot of money. So, and with that being said, I got another little clip I want to show you, and I'm gonna put it up here on stage. And let's have a talk about this out there, and with all these migrants that are being deported and picked up off the streets and disappearing. I mean, really disappearing. There's like 1,200 migrants from this Alcatraz, this alligator Alcatraz. They just disappeared. Their records, their family don't know where they are. So they're having a really, really hard time. But check this out.
Something alarming is happening at the Alligator Alcatraz Detention Center. About 1,200 immigrants held there are now missing from ICE's official records. How is this possible? Of the 1,800 immigrants held at the camp in July, nearly two-thirds no longer appear in ICE's public database. More than 800 show no record at all, and about 450 are listed only with the vague note, "Call ICE for details." This means families and attorneys cannot know where their loved ones are, whether they were transferred, deported, or are still being held at the site. Internal data reviewed by news outlets like Miami Herald shows that most of these individuals did not have final deportation orders before entering Alligator Alcatraz. Opened this summer, the facility is a state-run facility in the Everglades, operating in coordination with federal authorities. Unlike other detention centers, Florida doesn't provide a public detainee lookup system, making it even harder to track people's whereabouts. Miami immigration attorney Alex Solomiani says the camp operates under different rules, with little transparency. He also warned that some detainees may have been deported without a judge's final orders, or after abandoning their cases, many pressured by harsh conditions inside. Chain-link cages, extreme heat, and makeshift tents offering little protection. On August 21st, a federal judge ordered operations suspended, the population reduced, and parts of the camp dismantled. But days later, an appeals court overturned the decision, allowing it to remain open despite reports of abuse. Human rights organizations, including the ACLU of Florida, describe Alligator Alcatraz as a black hole in the immigration system, where people are effectively off the radar. So far, ICE has not issued any statements or clear explanations about the hundreds of immigrants who have disappeared from its records. This is a developing story. Follow Activista Media to stay informed.
Now, here's the question I like to ask people. So I understand that what's going on right now with the immigrants, and they're being swept away and being taken away. But here's the question I like to ask. So when it's all said and done, are we going to take care of the immigrants? Are we going to, I don't know, put them back in some decent housing and put money back in their pockets? In other words, will there be some form of reparations for the migrants when the next administration come along? I'm just wondering. I mean, me as an African American, I still haven't seen those reparations as of yet, with all the torture and so forth that people have thrown at people that look like me, the way that people that look like me were treated and have been treated. And it just seems like everybody else can get some reparation. The Jews, the Japanese, everybody can get a little piece of the pie except for people that look like me. And I just truly do not understand why. Yeah, I really don't. We fought for this country just like everyone else. We bleed in this country just like everyone else. And if it sounds like I'm complaining or ranting, well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just tired of every time there's an issue with something and with other people, they seem to get rewarded, or they seem to get taken care of, or you go out here and they put all these guns and whatnot and drugs into our neighborhoods, and they call us criminals. When these other cats get caught up, then they call it they have some mental issues, mental problems. You know, a guy goes out there and kills 100 people, pop, 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 mass murderer. He has mental problems, but they keep putting guns in our neighborhoods. I really don't feel. I do feel a certain way about the migrants. I really do. And I really feel bad for them that they have to go through what we as African Americans have had to endure for a couple of centuries living in this country. But I digress. I digress for the moment. I don't want to get into a rant about certain things. Anyway, getting back. I hope everybody's having a good day. And I'll be back in 1 minute because I got to play this. So here we go.
A doctor's calling. A company's mission. United for a greater good. When Edmark International, the pioneers of wellness, joined forces with Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, naturopath, the world gained a new weapon in the fight for true health. Co-created, science-backed, nature-powered. This isn't just a product. This is a movement. Born from decades of groundbreaking research, naturopathic mastery, and Edmark's relentless innovation.
The body wants to heal itself, and we have just given it the ultimate toolkit.
A detox unlike any other. A partnership unlike any other. The future of health starts now.
I've been trying a product that I'm telling you, it does what it says it's supposed to do. It's a cleansing product, and believe me, it'll clean you out all the way through and through. Back to a little politics, because that's pretty much where we're at today. Now, there are some things that I do not understand when it comes to the way that we deal with people. So there was a young man and a young woman who was killed by ICE. And it's all over the news. It started riots almost and marches and all kind of protests. So both those people were Caucasian. But prior to that, there was a young man that was also, his life had been taken. And it didn't make a lot of big news. And I'm just wondering why he's not mentioned with the other two. I think he should be. Things have been going really crazy around here as late. Prices have been going up. We don't know which way we're going. We may end up back in another war. I don't know. I really hope not. There's a lot of things that's going around this world going on, and it seems like we're participating in them in some kind of way or another. I don't want us to end back up in back in the desert. Too many of us died in Vietnam, and I just don't think that we need to be headed that way, because I honestly think he's starting all of this stuff to hide himself from the Epstein's files. He's trying to divert everybody from looking at him for these Epstein's files. Because if they're true, then we should do like the other countries do and get rid of his ass, straight up and down. Because if it's true, almost like saying the man's a pedophile, and that makes him a sexual predator. And that's not cool for this country. That's not good for us. That's definitely not a good look for us if we don't do something about it. We've let so many things gone by, especially with this administration and the things that they're doing. It's costing us a lot of money. They're putting up a lot of how should I say? They're dividing us as a people while they're sitting back making all of this money. Because every time I hear them talk about money, they're the ones that's making the money. On the dial, on the S&P. What about you and I? Because I might not have stocks. So if I don't own stocks, I'm not getting part of that big money that they're getting. And only the big people with the big money are getting they're getting rich over here. Billions and billions of dollars. And then they're taking our tax dollars and doing whatever the hell they want. Starting wars. All kind of nonsense. We're not even taking care of the people here. You know, we send all of this money to Israel every year. And it's a damn shame because they have universal health care. They don't pay for their medication, the average Joe Bo that lives there. They don't pay for education. We do in this country. So we're sending our money over there to help them with their medical and with their education, and we can't even afford to pay for it here. It's a damn shame. Our kids can't afford to go to school, and they're making it harder and harder and harder for us to obtain an education here. They want us to be dumb. They want us to be stupid. Why? So this way they can control you, tell you anything, and you'll believe it because you'll deal with things based on your emotion and not based on the facts that are in front of you. Okay? I'm not going to make this a long show. Like I said, I just wanted to touch on some of the little issues that's going on. The 1,200 people that seem to be missing. My dog is over here. He wants my attention. I wanted to talk about the 1,200 people that are missing, just disappeared, poof, off the planet of the Earth. Honestly, I think they probably sent them to some other country to work in the slave camps. Who knows? I don't know. This country is we can do a lot of things in this country and get away with it. Secondly, I wanted to make sure that we got an opportunity to discuss what went down today. You know, as far as the farmers and the tariffs are concerned, and what went in the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court ruling. Me, I'm happy for it, but I don't think that's going to stop anything. That's all. I think that's just going to close one door and he'll open another one. You know, again, this is just a diversion from the Epstein's files. When are we going to do something about how much more proof do we need? I mean, time after time after time after time, this man has proven to be some sort of criminal or involved in some sort of criminal activity. Now they're talking sex abuse and the way that they're doing our children. Come on, man. I mean, how much are we supposed to take? I'm just wondering, how far are we supposed to go as a people to say that this administration is a great administration? When they tank us, when we have nothing left, when we're out in the streets, I don't want to be like, there was an old Jewish proverb, I think, when they said they came for me and I did nothing, or they came for someone and I did nothing, and then eventually they came for me and there was no one there to protect me. Well, seems like what's going on here. Okay? There's no one here to protect us. So we're going to have to start protecting ourselves. When you go down to the voting booth, don't just vote with your heart, vote with your head too. Think about what's going on. Think about your situation around you. Think about your local environment. That's basically what politics is all basically when it's going to be about. It's going to be local politics. It's not going to be about what's going on in the White House. That's on a federal level. But if you start locally, you start at home, making the changes at home, then that may spread all the way up to the White House, because changes need to be made. This administration is it's not really good for the American people. All right, like I said, we're going to cut this short. I didn't want to take up too much of your time, but I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's only a few minutes long. I truly apologize. I just had to get some politics in for the day, at least for the week. And my dog is truly not allowing me to sit and do what I need to do here. So my name is Kendall Stevenson. This is not politics. This is the Empowerment Show. We got an opportunity to look at a couple of clips about how the farmers feel, and what also just took place today with the Supreme Court and their ruling. So let's see what happens. He stood up there at the podium and he made a lot of threats about what he was going to do, regardless to what the Supreme Court ruling was, regardless to what it is. So it's like he didn't really care. Another stone to get over. Well, we'll see if he get over this stone. Let's see what happens. Let's hope with all this stuff that's coming out about Epstein, let's hope something happens with that. Let's just see what comes out about that. I mean, could you imagine if this had been Obama? Ooh, man. Well, at least Clinton got a little bit of cojones, and he said, look at man, I'm going to tell you everything, and I'm going to lay all my cards out on the table. Now, let Donald Trump do the same. Pretty much just like that. All right, again, my name is Kendall Stevenson. Thank you for tuning into the Empowerment Show. Like I said, we're going to cut it short. I truly hate to do that, but I have to. All right. I hope you guys like the intro. If you do, leave us a comment. Let us know what's going on. If you enjoy the show or you got something that you want us to talk about, you can give us a call. The number's down there. You can always give us a call. Matter of fact, the telephone number right there, it's 908-899-3089. Hey, you can give us a call. Let us know what you think. Give us something that we need to discuss, and maybe some things that you got on your mind and you want to talk about. Tuesday is politics, and that my man will be back. Yates, he's the analyst. He's the one that breaks everything down. You know, I'm more or less the co-host. I'm the Robin. He's the Batman. But it's all good though. It's all good. All right. Okay. I didn't talk your ear off enough. My name is Kendall Stevenson. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I truly appreciate you tuning in. And hopefully you guys tune in on Monday. We have Mental Health Mondays coming up with Hope. Again, you know, Hope has an outstanding show. And if you get the opportunity, check out the webpage. And that would be at the PAEmpowermentNetwork.com. We got some upcoming shows and different events. You can check them out. They're right there on the webpage. And we also have some recommended reading. So, again, tune in. Thank you. My name is Kendall Stevenson. I've said that too many damn times. And peace. Hotep.